The final race of the Target Series season heads to Florida at the Homestead Miami Speedway for the running of the Chevy 300. This is the final race of the season, and the championship will come down to this one race. On the pole, we have the 01 of Peter Onjack, 2's outside is the 1 of Jeff Wright. Then third, you have Landon Lyons, 4th is Anthony Lehman, and rounding out the top 5, you have Sebastian Kukulon. In 6th, it's Stephen Baker. 7th is Jake Galloway, 8th, Joe Jefferson, 9th, William Bullen, and Jonathan Wong rounds out the top 10. The rest of the field, you have Alex Stewart in the 46, 2's inside the 62, Jennifer Buford. Then there's Bill Seaman and Andrew Miller, along with Riley Spraytube and Clayton Thomas. Then you have Luke Rainey and Alexander Rowe, along with Trey Rainey and Danny Lloyd. Then there's Joey Trickle, one of 2 drivers that have a shot at this championship. He is 9 points out of that points lead, however, and Justin Knight, 2 is outside. Then you have William Seaman and Jay Jefferson, along with Charles Robert and Marshall Burrow. Then you have points leader Adam McDowell, 9-point advantage coming into this race. All he has to do is have a solid evening, and he will get this championship. 2's outside the 99 of Max Anderson. Then you have Matt Hamill and Michael Sanders, along with Lawrence Palampon and Colton Yo. Then there's Jonathan Buford and Code Luigi, Johnny Gardner and Eli Bright. Then you have Steve Larker and TJ Hanley, Diego Yepez with Isaac Nichols. And in the final row, Michael Cantor on the 14, 2's outside the 33 of Carson Bowers. That is your starting lineup for the final race of the Target Series, season number 6. Let's get going with our starting command.
On behalf of the many great folks at Bass Pro Shops, Tracker, and MB&A, gentlemen, start your engines!
Business as usual today, buddy. Nice and easy. Your seatbelt's a little tucked for you, buddy. You're ready to rock and roll. Buddy, be ready here now. Feel that thing out real good here for the first lap or so. Make sure you got a good feel for it.
As our 42-car field rolls off the starting grid, it's a battle for the championship. Adam McDowell with a 9-point lead over Joey Trickle. Of course, anything can happen, but right now, Adam McDowell is a great shot winning this championship. Trickle, of course, with the added benefit, he would win the tiebreaker if it were a tie, so that's an added benefit for him. Otherwise, fighting third on back in points, Stephen Baker, Sebastian Kukulon, Clayton Thomas, and some of the others. Going to try and get up there for third in points. 30 laps at Homestead to end the season as we get green for the final time in season number 6, and we're racing at Homestead. Already some big moves being made out of the pack, but Kukulon leads lap 1, the 20 car. Now his teammate Jake Galloway looked 3 wide, couldn't get that done. He might fall back because William Bullen's there. But down to the bottom, the 19 cars, they come off turn number 2. Down the backstretch for the second time at full speed now. Here comes Galloway through to the bottom. Like see the shuffling in the pack. They will do that. They'll shuffle out 3 and 4 wide, trying to get up to the front. They're through at the front. Jake Galloway in the 19 car. They're going to clear the 2 cars up top. Galloway now clears for the race. 4 wide for the back. The 5 of Clayton Thomas up against the wall. Danny Lloyd. They keep going straight for now. Galloway leads lap number 3. Here comes William Bullen to the bottom lane, the 74. And Bullen got a great run, but couldn't get done. Here comes Jennifer Buford. He's going to try and lead here. Come down the backstretch. Bill Seaman behind that 6-2. They're 4 wide for the back. Bullen in the middle of it. Danny Lloyd almost spun off turn number 2 into the pack. Great save there by the driver number 21. As they go through 3 and 4, Jennifer Buford going to clear for the racing now. As Bill Seaman sideways with Riley Spraytube. Great save by those 2. That was close there, almost around. Big contact for those 2. Buford leads lap 3. Now Bill Seaman 3 wide in the middle lanes. Here comes Riley Spraytube to the bottom in the 78 car. I see Joey Trickle come forward in the 25. That's the only way he's going to win this championship. He has to worry about himself. He has to be up towards the front this whole race and hope that Adam McDowell just has some sort of issue on that 16 car. Down the backstretch, Stephen Baker in the 23, just eliminated by 1 point from contention. Here he is now inside the top 3. Has a problem with the 48, Jonathan Wong to the apron. He'll go to the pits. Wong in the 48 with an issue to pit road. Luckily, didn't really slow anyone up and did a great job getting out of the way before that issue was constant issue with the pack. So up towards the front, 2 cars pull away single file. Jennifer Buford, Riley Spraytube 1-2. Stephen Baker 3rd, the battle for 4th. Luke Rainey up top, Joey Trickle down low, and Bill Seaman looking 3 wide for the top 5. He's right now 4th, going for 4th, excuse me. So they look 5 wide back there. Big moves Greg Lee up the racetrack. Landon Lyons up against the wall. He might get into it as they come off 4. Big hit there for the 90. Keeps going straight, and we're still green. It's side by side for the lead. Riley Spraytube wants 2 in a row. Breaking a long winless streak. Here he is now going for the lead again here at Homestead. Riley Spiritude will take it as they come off turn number 2. Great move there by the 78. Oh, wreck! 1 and 2. Wreck as they come off of 2. Involved Yepez, Thomas, Yo, and possibly some others. But 3 cars up against the wall off of turn number 2. So we're racing back to the caution flag. Riley Spiritude leads. Joey Trickle now for a second. The 25 car will take it as they come off of 4. Riley Spiritude leads them back to the caution flag. Joey Trickle, Stephen Baker, your top 3. So crash at the back of the field involving Clayton Thomas, who was going for 3rd place in points, but he's all torn up. The 2 of Colton Yo and the 0 of Diego Yepez. So we'll see what happens to those 3 to bring out caution number 1 early on here at Homestead. Here they are racing down the front stretch, a big blob of cars in front of the 5 of Clayton Thomas, the 2 of Colton Yo, and the 0 of Diego Yepez. And right here, the 2 kind of catch that, kind of gets stalled out, tries to get to the middle lane, and Clayton Thomas kind of already down there. See, the 2 slides up, and then the 5 and the 2 just make some slight contact there. So the 2 made contact with the 74, possibly came down. Around goes Yo, Clayton Thomas, and Yepez get into it, and those 3 cars go spinning. Andrew Miller does a great job getting by. It's heartbreak for Clayton Thomas, who's going to try and get top 3 in points at the end of this season. Obviously not going to happen for him now. So he has a ton of damage. I think Yo made some contact with Bull there, came down to the 5, was sideways, and then right there he probably would have saved the car if not for the 0 of Yepez. Great job by everyone else avoiding that, but those 3 hard to the outside wall, and Thursday's obviously ruined, especially the 5 of Clayton Thomas has more damage. Yepez should be all right, and Colton Yo may have some damage as well, but Yepez looks like he got the least amount of damage, and he still has a good amount. So these 2 obviously going to be slow, if not out. So back in front was the 78 of Riley Spiritude. He'll stay on the racetrack. Spiritude going to lease back to the green flag in the Chevy 300. We are a third of the way done here at Homestead. We're coming to take the green flag on lap number 11, 20 laps to go. From that crash, Colton Yo, Clayton Thomas out, Diego Yepez still left in the race, and Jonathan Wong, those issues apparently very bad, as he is 4 laps down now and still has not left the pits. So leading this race right now is Riley Spiritude in the 78 car. In second, we have the 25 of Joey Trickle trying to get that championship. Stephen Baker 3rd, Jennifer Buford 4th. Bill Seaman rounds out the top 5. Look back here, as we saw a gap in the field, couldn't tell who it was, but Adam McDowell's currently scored 18th. And look, see, it looks like 20th place Alexander Rowe in the apron with an issue. He'll come to pit road. So another name that could have tried to win this race. Now going to pit road. So as it comes down the front stretch, 20 laps of racing to go. We're back racing here at Homestead. That was a very slow restart. Cars all over the place, going high and low. And I think maybe Spiritude may have just taken them down a little bit slower than expected. There he spun the tires because, my gosh, they were stacked up going all over the place on this restart. Jeff Beaver gets the 3rd in the 62 as they come down the back stretch. Looking along now the 25 Joey Trickle. Down the back they come. Cars moving out of line, going 3 wide already as they enter turn 3. Jeff Beaver to the inside, Joey Trickle. All behind Riley Spiritude. He's going to lead another lap as they come off turn number 4. Greg Lee taking it 3 wide in the 6 car. Anthony Lehman up top in the 3. Side by side still for a second. Buford edges ahead as they hit turn 1. Alexander leaving the pits down the 07. So he'll fall a lap down. Here comes Stephen Baker in the 23 for the 2nd position. Back there, Jake Galloway, Luke Rainey making up ground. They're 4 wide. Cole Louis, Jeff Bray up top. And Adam McDowell comes through in the bottom lane, that 16 car, moving forward. Here, we're coming towards halfway. Joey Trickle back down line 4th, going for that 3rd position. That is a point in front of him. He needs every point he can get. Obviously, as we've mentioned, he just needs to be the highest finishing chaser and hope that 16 has some issues. Once again, it's going to be harder now because there's already a chaser out of this race. The 5 of Clayton Thomas has retired. So that's one more spot that Adam McDowell cannot lose. Down the backstretch for the lead, Jennifer Buford underneath the 78 of Riley Spiritude as they come down the back into turn number 3. Side by side, 3rd and 4th going to try and run down their single file. As through 3 and 4, Jeff Buford going to clear to the race lead for the 62. Joey Trickle to the inside, going to try and grab 2nd away. As they come down the front stretch to the field, spreading out, contact there. Carson Barris and Andrew Miller maybe made some contact, and the 52 is sideways. Great save there as we keep it green. 17 to go. Buford leads now to the inside for the highest chaser. That's Stephen Baker. And underneath Joey Trickle in the 25, but Trickle got a great run off the top side of 2, keeps that 2nd position for now. How about Jake Galloway emerged inside the top 5? He's currently 5th, going for 4th. So he's going to get by Riley Spiritude. Good look for 3rd right here. Got a great run to Stephen. Bill Seaman to the wall in the 98 car. He'll drop back. Side by side for 4th. Front 3, breakaway single file. They have Luke Ray and William Seaman coming forward. How about Luke Ray looking 3 wide in the 22 car? That's for a top 5. That's for 5th. That's for 5th and 4th on the racetrack. Look at that stack up back there. Contact around goes Steve Walker. The 51 around. That's going to bring up the yellow flag at halfway. So we're coming back around to lead at halfway. Leading the race, Trickle trying to get to the inside. Jennifer Buford side by side down the front stretch. To lead us back to caution number 2, Jennifer Buford. Leads us back to the caution flag, Trickle in second. At the back of the field, Steve Larker goes around. May have been a contact from the 88 of Eli Bright. And Larker now falls to the back of the field. But luckily, it looks like he kept his car out of the wall. We'll see what happened to bring up caution number 2. Here they are coming off of corner number 2. Steve Larker up top in the 51. And he may get slight contact there from the 1 of Jeff Bright from the rear end down into the 24 Robert. And around goes Steve Larker. Eli there at the end. Barely missed him. Car slam on the brakes trying to avoid him. Great job by them. But Larker takes a spin down the backstretch to bring out caution number 2 here at halfway in the Chevy 300 here at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Look at this once again in real time. Looks like maybe Jeff misjudged. He just clipped that 51 a little bit and it sent him on a wild ride. If Robert wasn't there, he probably would have saved the car, but just goes spinning. Luckily, he keeps out of any contact with the wall. He should be all right to continue on forward. So back in front, Jennifer Buford in the 62 leads us back to the caution flag. They stay out on the racetrack. Jennifer Buford giving me a race leader once to get back green here at Homestead. We will go back green with 11 laps of racing to go in the season. 11 laps left in season number 6 of the Target Series. No cars out, 38 cars on the lead lap, 39 technically on the racetrack. And so 48 of Wong, he's still in the race, but those issues on the 48 obviously big, and he's probably not going to be returning. So out front, we have the 62 of Jennifer Buford. In second, it's the 25 of Joey Trickle. Third is Stephen Baker. Fourth, Jake Galloway. Fifth is Luke Rainey. Your points there, Adam McDowell, currently in a solid position, 14th. As it looks like Jay Jefferson now with an issue under the caution flag. 23rd place. Going to fall to pit road. So just like Alexander Rowe, more issues. A lot of cars with mechanical issues. First, Wong, and now the 28, and also the 07 Alexander Rowe. So a lot of cars with mechanical issues here tonight at Homestead. So leading us to the green flag, Jennifer Buford. Second in points, Joey Trickle doing everything he can do right now. He's your highest chaser in second. But Adam McDowell doing everything he needs. Just having a solid day. He's 14th right now. Teammate in front of him. We'll have to see, though, if he falls on this restart. Come back to the green. 11 to go. We're back racing at Homestead. Green flag back in the air. Cars jumping low. Once again, another slow restart. Rise Tube jumps low on Luke Rainey. Justin Knight goes low as well. Front 4. Stay single file as they go through 1 and 2. Jennifer Buford in the 6-2 pulls a nice little gap over Joey Trickle as Trickle is getting attacked by the 23 Stephen Baker down the backstretch. Here comes a move. Jake Gowen in the 19 pulls low. And McDowell pulling low, trying to get by some more chasers. He wants to actually get up here and win the race probably. Let's go through 3 and 4. Jake Galloway for third in the 19 car. As for the lead, Joey Trickle trying to move further forward. Couldn't get that done. 10 laps of racing to go at Homestead. Side by side for third. As the front 2 try to pull away. Jake Galloway at the racetrack, tight to the middle lane. Justin Knight looking 3 wide for third. Rise Tube pushing Stephen Baker off the corner. Almost contact there. It looked like Tube was going to try and wreck him. Down the backstretch for the race again. Trickle beside Buford as it 3 and 4. Remember last season, Jennifer Buford won this championship with some amazing luck. Trickle looking for that amazing luck here tonight as he's out front leading with 9 to go, doing everything he can. But Adam McDowell's coming forward in the 16. He's looking 4 wide for the back of the field. He's moving up inside the top 10. Yeah, it's going to take a wreck out of that 16 for Trickle to win this championship. I just don't see it. The 16 looks too fast. Down the backstretch. Almost contact there. Luke Rainey and Stephen Baker close. As Justin Knight now looks for the race in the 9 car. He gets beside the 25 of Trickle through 3 and 4. Cars falling back on the outside. Anthony Lehman falling back. Adam McDowell inside the top 10. He gets cut to the middle lane. Almost contact there. Galloway and Gardner a little close. 8 laps of racing to go. Look at Jeff Buford to the middle lane, now to the bottom. Looking 3 wide for the lead. That was a big move out of Buford. That was a pretty good one as well. She wants to win this race down the backstretch. Johnny Gardner, his second car in the inside lane. Look at them now fanning out. Just double file. No 3 wide. As they go through 3 and 4. Jennifer Buford out front. Trickle to the middle lane, 3 wide. Gets beside the 9, the 89. Trying to emerge through that middle lane. Now 7 laps of racing to go here at Homestead. Trickle trying to get a run through the middle. Look at them close there. And sliding up into Seaman and McDowell. The 16 decides, I'm going to back out of that. That's too risky for me. Down the backstretch, Buford has a nice gap over second place as they're bound 3 and 4 wide behind. Still 4 wide inside the top 5. William Seaman's lining up. They're looking 5 wide. Your championship leader right now in the middle of a 4 wide. And McDowell. Does he just back out? If I'm McDowell backing out right now, I have this championship locked up. Trickle's falling back with me. 6 to go. Contact inside the top 5. They are racing 4, almost 5 wide. If they could go 5 wide, they would be 5 wide at this point. Down the backstretch, Max Anderson moving forward. As Johnny Gardner is cleared for a second, he's going to try and run down Jeff Buford now. Here comes Amick down the 16 car. How about him? Looking 4 wide inside the top 5. He wants to get up here and win this race. He doesn't just want to win the championship. He wants to do what Mathis Wells did and win the race and the championship. 5 to go. A yellow flag would end it. And Amick Dell moving by Joey Trickle in the 25. Trickle's been down all day. Look at the contact. Around goes Stewart and Kukulon. The yellow will come out. That's going to be the race. Side by side down the back. Buford, Johnny Gardner. Here they come through 3 and 4. Who wins the drag race back to the start-finish line? Jeff Buford up top. Down low, Johnny Gardner is going to clear Jeff Buford. And off of 4, Gardner will win as he can coast around 4 laps. Johnny Gardner has probably just won here at Homestead. Involved in that crash, Kukulon, Alex Stewart. And I think they may have been the only two that have kept it up against the outside wall. So the yellow flag will come out to end the race. And it looked like that may have been some contact with Amick Dell. He may have slid up into those drivers. As McDowell unofficially will be scored in the 9th position. Joey Trickle will be scored 6th. Obviously not enough for Trickle. He's only 1 chase spot ahead of McDowell. I think that's going to seal it right there. I believe Amick McDowell has just won this championship. And Johnny Gardner looks like will win for the 2nd time this season here at the Homestead Miami Speedway. So we'll see what happens. Bring out the caution flag. Alex Stewart in the 46 involved with the 20th Sebastian Kukulon. That will end the race under the caution flag. Going off into turn 1, 4 wide. Amick Dell's down low on the 16 as he slides up just a little bit. Gets in the 14. Kento slides him up into the 46 of Stewart. Then Stewart sideways there. Kukulon gets in him and they spin around hard to the outside wall. The yellow flag has to come out sideways in the middle of the field. That ends the race early. Turns out Johnny Gardner is going to win here at Homestead. Luckily, it was only those two that crashed. Everyone else did a great job missing those cars spinning. And luckily, they spun up to the outside wall, didn't spin back down to traffic because that could have been big if they spun back down the racetrack. And Johnny Gardner got out front at the right time. He's going to win here at Homestead. He beat Jeff Buford back to the start-finish line. It's Gardner who's going to win here at Homestead. He could coast around 2.5 more laps. We'll come back at the checkered flag for Johnny Gardner. The white flag is in the air. The last lap of the season is underway and it will end under the caution flag with Johnny Gardner leading the race. He made the chase with a win at Richmond. Thought that maybe he would have carried some momentum from that. It was just a mediocre chase for Johnny Gardner all around. Never really was a factor. But tonight he showed that he had the potential to do great things given a good enough car and the drive to win. So Johnny Gardner is going to win his 2nd of the season here at Homestead. Jeff Buford so close. She'll end up 2nd. Max Harrison, William Seaman, and Lawrence Pound round up the top 5. Further back in the top 10 is the big story, though. As Joey Trickle ends up 6th, and McDowell will end up 9th. He made the chase barely staying in the top 20 to get a wild card, to claim a wild card. And once he started the chase, he was on fire. To the checker flag, Johnny Gardner will win the race. Further back in 9th place, and McDowell just won the Target Series Championship here at the Homestead Miami Speedway. He did what he had to do. He just had to stay with that 25 car all night long. He did. He never really fell back. And McDowell wins the championship for season number 6. Let's go check the finish results and see the final point standings. Here are the finish results from the Chevy 300 at the Homestead Miami Speedway. There were 3 caution flags for 12 laps, an 8 lead change among 7 different drivers. Johnny Gardner wins the race after starting 35th and led 5 laps to victory lane. Jeff Buford led the most laps here tonight, 14. She ends up 2nd close there. She's about half a lap away from victory. They have Max Harrison in 3rd, William Seaman 4th, Lawrence Pound rounding out the top 5. Joey Trickle did about all he could have done here tonight. He'll end up 6th. Jake Galloway 7th, Rise for 8th year champion Amick McDowell in 9th, and Justin Knight rounds out the top 10. There's your top 20. Peter Andrak started on the pole, falls to 19th, didn't even get to lead a lap here tonight. Just shows how wild the racing here at Homestead is. Sadly, it had to end under the yellow flag. Could have been a very, very big run, big battle to the finish. 37 cars finished on the lead lap. 39 finished the race running as Clint Thomas Colton Neal up from that crash. And Jonathan Wong never got that car repaired. Obviously, a big issue on that 48. Just finished the race in the pits. So now let's go look at see how the full season point standings was shaped out, and we'll also see how the Chasers fared in their fight to get every position they could. Here's how it would have played out if we used a full season standings. Of course, this would be used for any tiebreakers, and there was a big tiebreaker for what looks to be 7th, 8th, and 9th in the chase standings. We'll find out a little bit later. But Joey Trickle would have dominated. He would have won the standings by 118 over Dane Lewin. How about Amick McDowell? Barely was in the top 20 points after Richmond, barely made the chase. He fights his way with a consistent chase up to 3rd. So great job there by Amick McDowell. How great of a chase he had up to 3rd there at the end. 3 wins on the season. Very dominant for McDowell. See, most top 10s actually goes to Stephen Baker. He had 13 top 10s on the season. Most top 5 will go to Danny Lloyd with 8, and most wins, obviously, Adam McDowell got 3. A lot of drivers with 2, though, as well. You can see laps led there. Looks like 49 or 51 there. Jennifer Buford led 51 laps, only 1 win to show for it, but she had a very consistent season. Just some bad luck there kept her out of the chase. We look at the right side to see the point standings. You can see there Adam McDowell with the championship by 8 points over Joey Trickle. That is a very big margin of victory there on the championship. Steph Baker does hold on to 3rd there at the end with 74 points. 4th, Lawrence Palanpon. And then 5th, we had Sebastian Kukulon. 6th, of course, Clayton Thomas. And then that big tie, 7th, 8th, and 9th, which was determined off of full season points. 7th, Danny Lloyd finished full season in 2nd. 8th, William Seaman finished it in 6th. And 9th was Landon Lyons due to him finishing full season in 7th. And then, of course, 8th we have, or excuse me, not 8th, 10th we have Johnny Gardner, and 11th Luke Rainey, and 12th Andrew Miller. So that's how it would have played out if, of course, we use this system. But how about some non-chasers up there towards the top 10? We have Steve Larker in 8th. Where did he come from? He ends up finishing top 10 in the full season points, even though he did not make the chase. Diego Lopez 11th. Jonathan Beeford. See chasers down here. Andrew Miller 15th. He came in as probably the favorite. He was the highest seed. He ends up as one of the lowest. Luke Rainey 17th. Clayton Thomas 20th. And how about Adam McDowell? Came in as the lowest seed, the last wild card spot. He ends up picking up that championship trophy here at the end. So it just shows, never give up. If you can put those final few races together, you can hold that championship trophy. See all the rest down here, some wins and whatnot. It was a very wild Target Series season. You can see Code Luigi, 10 DNFs on the season. Definitely hurt his performance. He had 9 top 10s, which was a pretty good mark. He was only 4 short of Steph Baker at 13, the most. But those 10 DNFs will hurt you. You can see right there that obviously hurt him 30th in the points standings at the end. As you look down at the rest, see some drivers that ran full schedule. Michael Sanders had a miserable season, 135 points behind the next person who started the most races, TJ Hanley. And then Hanley was 60 behind Trey Arenas. Obviously, these drivers just not having the seasons they want. Good amount of DNS for them as well. They have some substitutes down here. Gustavo Rocha obviously didn't run the full schedules. He stepped out during the chase. Pete Ronjak came in. The 01, Joe Jefferson. The 6, Greg Lee. And they have Kaylee Bourne. So there is how it would have played out. Obviously, the chase is the only one that matters, though. So I have to thank everyone for a great Target Series season number 6. Once again, I just have to thank all the people that made the paint schemes and whatnot. TJ Hanley, Code Luigi, Carter Friesen, anyone else that made paint schemes. Obviously, throwbacks, a lot of people made. Jake Galloway, Luke Rainey, Colton Yo, Derek Hamill. I don't know who all made Jay Jefferson, but whoever made paint schemes, thank you. I don't even remember who made all these paint schemes, but obviously, thank you all for making those paint schemes. Thanks to TJ Hanley for making the logos that you see at the beginning of the races, the race logos. Otherwise, thanks for watching as well. Thanks for signing up. Without you, this wouldn't be going. It was a very, very fun Target Series season number 6. Obviously, dominating championship run by Adam McDowell as he was on fire during the chase. Really only 2 bad races. The rest of the, if you take out race 7 and 8 of the chase, his worst chase finish was 5th highest. That just shows how much of a role he was on in the chase. So I have to thank everyone for watching. Tune in tomorrow. We'll be crowning a Gatorade Cup Series season number 7 champion. Carter Friesen leads by 7 over TJ Hanley, 9 over Steven Taylor, 10 over Luke Rain, 11 over Louis Octavio. So it's going to be a wild championship battle there. We'll see how that goes. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow for that championship.